Hey Eve, sorry I didn't get this to you sooner, but today has been a day. We had Northwest visit today, me and Lauren, and I totally forgot about it. Woke up and had 15 minutes to get ready. Miss Laura was like, "Hey, are you coming or not?" So, when you texted me, we were at Northwest and got home, and I was still exhausted, so I just kind of vegged out and took a little bit of a nap. So anyway, here are those problems that you needed help with, and I hope it helps. So you are trying to write negative 3r plus 3u in polar form. And polar form is the hypotenuse length, should be p, and then the degree of measure of the angle. So the thing to remember here when you're looking at this is that it really only matters where it's located to help you find the degree of measure. The length of your legs are given here. So you can find the hypotenuse length without ever having to really do your little chart thing. The length of this leg is 3 and the length of this leg is 3. So we're going to find the degree of measure by saying the 3 over 3. And because they're the same thing, I don't have to draw it yet. I just know both legs are 3 of your right triangle, right? So that would be 1, because 3 over 3 is 1. So when you pull up your calculator, I know this because I helped with Algebra 3. I taught it 1 year. It's going to be 45 degrees. You're going to go inverse tan. It's 45 degrees, 45 degree angle, right? So that 45 degree angle, theta, is a 45 degree angle. This is where you have to take into account where it lives on the Cartesian coordinate system. And because r is negative here, that would be a negative r and a positive u, right? So it's going to be in quadrant 2. And if that relative to the x-axis is 45, then this is 45, right? Because 45 is half of 90. So I know I'm going to have to add 90 to 45 to get the direct measure of the angle. So that's going to be 90, so plus 90, that's 135 degrees. So that goes here. So 135 degrees is here. So now we are going to do the hypotenuse. So we have one leg plus the other leg is a hypotenuse squared. Pythagorean's theorem, right? So that's 18. We unsquare. That's 3 times the square root of 2. That's your hypotenuse, and then that would go here, 3 times square root of 2. This is your answer. 3 times square root of 2 at 135 degrees. I don't know that it has to be negative. I don't think that's required. So I'll check it and see. Let me check it right quick. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be negative. It's a positive angle because you're measuring it from the x. Unless it says what is the negative degree for the polar form, you do the positive, right? Do what you know, what we've been doing all along, okay? All right, so that was the first one. So let me look at the second one. All right, okay, so let's see what we get for this one. We got to find c, okay? So in order to free c from this set of parentheses, we're going to have to go ahead and do distribution. So xk is equal to p over cm1 minus p over m2. So I would think the easiest thing to do would be to get a common denominator here. So it'd be cm1, m2 would be our common denominator for all three of these and multiply all of them in order to get there. So I'm going to multiply this by CM1, M2, and it's going to be CM1, M2, XK. And then multiply this by M2, so it's going to be M2P minus, so CM1 times this, CM1P. So now to get all the C's over on one side, so I'm going to add CM1P to both sides. Okay, so this cancels. So now we have, I'm going to factor out C. That's going to be C times M1, M2, XK plus M1P is equal to M2P. Divide both sides by M1, M2, XK plus M1P. All right, that cancels. So C, I'm not going to rewrite that because you get the idea. C is equal to that. All right, I'm going to double check, make sure I'm right. Okay, so yes, I'm right, and you're right too. It's just that the variables that you typed it in is in a different order. So that one will get marked right. Don't worry about that. All right, let's look at the, I think you had one more, maybe? Nope, that was it. So yeah, you got this one right. Don't stress about that. I'll mark it right when I manually grade it. Just go back and look at the other one. All right, and that's all I have. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, there's one more. I was looking at your responses. There's one more that you got wrong. -2, 4, 2. So first things first, you got to get all the bases the same. So -2, 2 squared, 2. All right, innermost. So that's going to be 2, 1/2. Then we've got 2 squared, 1/2. And then we've got -2. And that is to the 1. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so negative, this stays here, so that's -2. And then we have times 2 over 2 times 2 over 1/4. All right, so that becomes to 2 over 2. We need it to be the same denominator, so I'm going to change that to -2, 4 over 4, because that's to the 1, times 2 over 4 to the 4, times 2 over 1 to the 4th, right? I'm going to separate this negative out. It's actually -1 times all of that. So 2 times 2 times 2, and 4 plus 4 plus 1. So that's going to be -1, the opposite of 2 to the 9 over 4. So that still remains a negative, so that equals -2, 9 over 4. Okay? Does that make sense? Because that negative is separate from the exponent. All right, so that was the last one that I saw, and I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, that is the correct response right here. Okay, that's the last one. That's all I had that I saw in your quiz. If you need any more help, give me a holler.